Yo, what's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte, and today we are now at the midpoint of the season, and we're going to be going over some rankings. We're going over the Norris Trophy rankings. Who's going to win the Norris Trophy? Halfway through the season, I know it means as much as it's worth, right? Only 50% of the way through. But I think it's time to give some mention to some really good defensemen here over the last couple of, really throughout this season so far. So we're going to recognize that in today's video. So the first guy we're going to take a look at here, without further ado, is Victor Hedman. I think Victor Hedman is definitely a candidate in this regard. But again, there's always going to be the Tampa thought. It's always going to be, well, there's all the defensemen in Tampa are good, and their forwards are good. I'll be honest, Victor Hedman kind of had a slow start to this season. He's definitely picked his way back up. He's been very good. You look through 48 games this year, he still has 48 points. I mean, as a defenseman, it's really good. But again, it's the fact that he's on Tampa, and people are going to say, including myself, maybe he gets a little bit of a bump in that regard. So it's not fair necessarily, but it is what it is, and that's why, unfortunately, he is lower on my list here. That's why this guy is actually further up my list, and that is Chris Letang of the Pittsburgh Penguins. I think Chris Letang has been very good this year. Again, he's been hit with some injuries, so he's only played 34 games this year. He has 33 points, so he's almost a point-per-game player still with the Penguins. The Penguins have had a really nice season this year, and a lot of that has been without Crosby. And now, just coming back now, is Malkin. So, for the first part of the year, he was a leader on this team with those two guys out. So, I think Chris Letang really showed what he can do at this level over the last couple weeks and has been extremely impressive with what he can do. I'm really excited to see what he brings to the table over the next, really the rest of the year, because Letang, when he's healthy, is an extremely good defenseman. Again, despite being 36 years old, he's been really, really a heck of a player. Now we're moving to Colorado here, and we have a couple of Colorado defensemen here. The first one being Devon Toews. This guy is, I have a soft spot for Devon Toews because he was an Islander. Again, I always bring that up every time I bring him up. You know, the Avalanche got 2 second-round picks from Lou Lamorello for this guy. Just an absolute steal. And he's only played 27 games this year. Again, a guy that's probably lower on the list because of his injuries. And somebody else, and we'll mention that later. But he has 26 points in 27 games. Very, very, very impressive. A great skating, puck-moving defenseman that can produce. And ever since his time in Bridgeport in the AHL, I knew this guy was special. Not only because his name is very similar to somebody else who plays for the Blackhawks, but Devon Toews really has been an absolute beast. Now we move up to Adam Fox. Adam Fox, the 2021 Vezina Trophy winner. So he's looking to defend his title as best defenseman in the league. One of the youngest defensemen to get that title. Projected to be the next Brian Leetch for the Rangers. A lot of hype has been built up for Fox, and he has lived up every second of it on Broadway with the Rangers. He's also a point-per-game defenseman. He's got 39 points in 39 games. Perfect point-per-game defenseman, just like everybody else on the list. So it's not separating you too much, but I am giving credit because he's been able to do that with, again, nothing against the Rangers' defense, but a much younger blue line. You look at the Rangers' defense, filled up with young guys like Keandre Miller, Nils Lundqvist, what's the other guy? I forgot his name. He's jumped into the lineup a couple of times. Jared Tenorti's been in there. So a little bit of a different look, and he's done very, very well with maybe not the most talent defensively around him. Maybe Jacob Trouba, but even then, a lot of Ranger fans aren't a huge fan of Trouba either. So I really like what I've seen from Fox. I think he will end up being a finalist at the end of the day. But as of right now, I have him as the 4th guy at this point. Now moving into the finalists, the guys that would go to Vegas according to right now, and it was tough leaving Fox off that list, and even Devon Toews, but Cale Makar is definitely a guy I had to mention, and is part of the reason that that Devon Toews didn't move up further either. Again, you look at those two guys, that is right now the best pairing in the NHL defensively. Those two guys, Toews and Makar, it is deadly. And you look at Makar, he's actually been healthy. He's got 37 points in 35 games, 16 goals. This guy is legit. He is the real deal. And he doesn't just pick up the assists. A lot of these guys have 5 goals, a couple goals here and there. He has the most goals out of anybody on this list. Cale Makar is just, I cannot talk about him enough. I remember watching him in, I think he was with what school did he go to? Boston? Trying to remember what school Makar was with, but the kid was incredible. So I'm really happy for him ever since his first NHL goal in the playoffs. Remember that? Man, this kid has been nothing short of spectacular. Another guy I have to mention here, Aaron Ekblad of the Panthers. Again, similar here, probably second best pairing in the league with Mackenzie Weegar this year. Just Aaron Ekblad has really turned it on its face. He was a guy that was probably, a lot of people said a bust like 2 years ago. And he's got 10 goals right now this season in 37 games, 35 points. Really, really impressive stats this year for Ekblad. The team around him has been very good, so that definitely helps his case. But Aaron Ekblad, no doubt, is a finalist right now. And then the other guy here, just some guy, the captain of the Predators, Roman Josi. Really, really good defenseman in his own right. He's got 13 goals this season, 40 points this season in 38 games. So, again, really solid stats. He's got the numbers. He actually leads the Predators in points as a defenseman. Really impressive stuff there from him. And a big reason why the Predators are number 1 in the Central Division right now at the recording of this video. So with those 3 guys being the finalists, Josi, Makar, and Ekblad, who takes the top spot as the Norris Trophy winner, in my opinion, halfway through the year? And it's Roman Josi. Roman Josi, in my opinion, what he's doing with the Nashville Predators, a team that was supposed to go backwards this year, potentially go back to a team that maybe misses the playoffs and starts the quote-unquote scary word, rebuild. And Roman Josi has said, no, we're going to keep doing things our way. Now, you have to give credit where it's due. The emergence, or really the resurgence of Ryan Johansson, Matt Duchene, who had a down year last year, Mikael Granlund, all those guys coming in and producing has made things so much easier for the Predators. And Roman Josi in particular, Juuse Saros has been great in between the pipes, but you can contribute a huge amount of that success. I wouldn't even be surprised if Josi's a candidate for MVP of the year based off of what they've done in Nashville this year. Huge props to Josi, and I would give him the Norris Trophy at this point today. So guys, that is it for today's video. Let me know in the comments section, who would you have as the Norris Trophy halfway through the season? Let me know down below. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next time.